auction on June 16th. For details, visit rbauction.com/Lincoln.
Coming at you live from the Coppel Chevrolet GMC studios. This is Old School, brought to you by Sandhills Global. Broadcasting veteran Derek Pearson.
When you find something that moves them, that makes them smile, celebrate it. That's your task. That's your superpower.
Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome into Old School on a dreary Monday, post-NFL draft, second round of the NBA playoffs starting up. I am Rico, joined by DP and Jay Foreman. How is everybody doing today?
Doing great, man. You got my mic on?
Yeah, your mic's on.
Yeah, you're doing great, even though the weather took a drastic change since yesterday.
It was a beautiful day yesterday.
Yeah.
This weather's kind of getting me. It got me this morning.
Well, it's just the typical Nebraska can't have nice things yet.
It got me this morning.
Can't have nice weather, and then we got to have this, last little week of reality.
You can't have too many good things.
Yeah.
Has to throw a curveball at you.
Just felt like Monday. Like normally it doesn't come into play.
Yeah.
But this morning it was like, oh.
At least it's not Gale Force winds out there yet.
That's true.
Yeah.
That is true.
Yeah, it was just a little weird.
And hit us up on the Honda of Lincoln hotline, Starter Heyman text line 402-464-5685, or the Starter Heyman Jewelers video stream, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and now streaming live on Twitter as well. So if you go to @937 the ticket, you'll see the live video stream right there on the beautiful Twitters.
It's right there. We're moving up.
We fancy now.
We're moving up. We're moving up. There's so much moving up going on right now.
Moving on up.
That's where I spent the weekend. Was moving up in my mental space. Yeah, there you are.
Look at you.
Look at you.
Look at you. Look at you.
Look at you. Look at you. Well done.
Twitter had to take extra precautions because Jay Foreman's going to be on Twitter.
Yeah, they were trying to figure out what they were going to have to do. They had to boost it, the bandwidth.
The bandwidth.
And like we got all that. You got all that Jay Foreman on there. You gotta get that done. So what's your first take of the weekend? What's your top story of the weekend? Biggest story of the weekend, Jay Foreman?
Well, locally is obviously getting O'Shawn Mathis. It was I'm sure it was touch and go. It was kind of like I wouldn't say a bidding war, but sitting there waiting for the facts or whatever to come through on a recruit. I mean, which he is or was. So that locally, that's the biggest news, along with two guys going in the second round. So I think it was a good Friday. Obviously with two guys getting drafted on day 2, and then double it down with the O'Shawn Mathis committing Saturday afternoon. So I think for the most part, local in Nebraska, there's no complaints. You had Samari Torre get drafted in the 7th round. He should be excited. He's going to an extremely good situation for him in Green Bay, where they'll develop him, and they have a history of developing late round draft choices at the receiver position, and they end up playing there for quite some time. Donald Driver comes to mind. So you need to be proud of that. And also he was a kid you got out of the transfer portal as well. So, as much as the transfer portal, say, in theory hasn't worked out for Nebraska, it's worked out just fine. And I think a lot more cases than people, realize. And, I think for the most part, every guy that was draft eligible found a place to go compete. So I think it's a positive for the program, because there's been years where guys have been, undrafted and didn't get a chance to go to a mini camp or anything like that. So, you wish all those guys, luck. And then obviously, you got to be excited for the university that they got O'Shawn Mathis, a player that they've been wanting and coveting for a while. And obviously, what you were able to present him was definitely something that was appealing for him.
What do you think that was? What do you think that
I think it's everything. I think it's, whether they want to say anybody wants to mention, I'm sure it's NIL opportunity, profile, maybe like the role that he's going to play, and he's playing in the in my opinion, the best conference in the nation. If it's not the best conference, it's the second best conference going against the best players. So, then he wants to compete and see where he's at. And he probably knows he can go and produce against anybody, but, he's going to be playing against the big boys. And so I think it's that. I think once he came to Nebraska, he realized there's more to Nebraska than cornfields and stuff like that. And also I think, if in reality, if you have aspirations to go to the NFL, there's some small market teams out there that are not as appealing as Lincoln. So, you got to make sure that you come in with an open mind and understand that you're here to play football and get to the quarterback and get tackles for losses and all that stuff. And it'll be interesting to see how it all shakes out. But, they always say the cream rises to the top, and we'll see what happens.
Well, I mean, you mentioned system. What will happen with him, for him, in the system that the Huskers run?
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure. I mean, he's going to be, let loose going after the quarterback. I'm sure they're not going to have him covering down the, deep half. He's going to cover two. So, look, I think football is football. So necessarily, I don't think the system really matters. I'm sure he's going to play outside linebacker, defensive end on third downs, and play kind of position that he's used to, or maybe be able to be a little bit more free. Not read and just go make football plays. I think with him, what the film that I watch, he's a football player. He makes football plays, pretty stout. He's got he's a long kid, physical, plays a good energy. So I don't think they're gonna have him do 50 million things and take away from what he does best. So I envision they're gonna let him go try to get to the quarterback, but that thing we got to get, hopefully we're playing with a lot more leads and stuff where he gets some chances, because you can get a sack a game, but it might take you 3 quarters to set the dude up. So you want to make sure that a guy like this and all the other outside linebackers too to get as many chances to get to the quarterback.
I think I said this Friday, and I think it's true today, that the way the business of football was being done here at Nebraska has changed and will change because of O'Shawn Mathis. Because you're showing what you're willing to do to get somebody.
Yeah. You got to be show what you're willing to do, how you do it. Obviously, the presentation was right. Look, you got other guys too. You just pulled Casey Thompson out of the portal early. You got Trey Palmer. You got the receiver from New Mexico State, and I'm sure there's some other guys. So the business of what they're doing and the guys that are identifying. And now we'll see. Obviously, if it comes to fruition and how being good players. So, but they gotta. For a team like Nebraska, that you gotta be open and appealing for, or you got to be open to NIL and the transfer portal, and you got to be appealing for players when it comes to transfer portal and NIL. So, but ultimately, that's want to use it as a kickstart and kind of add it as needed. But right now, obviously, we've had to add quite a few players.
What for you? What does this say about Nebraska and recruiting? Does it remove a piece of the boundary that says Nebraska can't get top level guys, or is this the perfect storm to get the right player at the right time?
I think they can recruit and get top. I never thought Nebraska couldn't recruit.
Okay.
I know when Bo was here, that was one of the things he said he couldn't recruit to Nebraska. I think the staff does a good job of getting them to Lincoln and showing the appealing things, not only in the athletic department, but Lincoln itself, Nebraska itself. But the competition is out there. The parity in college football is out there. Everybody has good facilities. Everybody has a pretty good fan base. I don't think on Nebraska's level, but, they have a pretty good fan base and stuff like that, and opportunities off the field. So, I think this shows that Nebraska can go into any situation and feel confident that they can, win a guy and get him to come here. And it's also, when you're coming off a 3-9 and, 4-8 the year before or something like that. It also shows you that they're selling and telling guys things beyond, what would happen, and also forecasting what can be beneficial to them and how they can be beneficial to the program. So, I definitely think they can recruit and have shown it. Now you just gotta, get the mesh together, develop the cohesiveness, and guys got to go out there and step up to the plate. Yeah, him coming with the media attention, yeah, bring some pressure. From what it sounds like, he'll welcome the pressure. I don't think he was running from it. But then also the expectations need to be realistic and clear. But then also, one guy isn't going to change the program. It's just not. I mean, that's just, nobody's that good. So everybody else needs to take the same approach that we or they are going to do everything possible to obviously flip the script of what Nebraska football has been in recent history.
A lot of the conversation when the Casey Thompson recruitment was happening was folks are like, well, is he going to have to compete for the job, right? Why aren't we transparent about that? Is the same thing true here?
Well, yeah, I mean, we're not
like you're not bringing him. You're not
in theory, you're not bringing him in not to play, right, or start. In reality, nobody's guaranteed a spot because we're not good enough. We're 3-9. We were 3-9 last year. Period. Okay, I don't care how close you got. All the kind of optics you want to try to put. Yes, Nebraska was this close to winning. I mean, we could go over every game and figure out. And I'm gonna tell you this: a lot of it was refs and all the other stuff. But at the end of the day, we're still 3-9. We're not good enough, and haven't been dominant enough to say, "Hey, I got Rico. Rico, you trust me. You need to sit here, even though you're just as good as Jay or DP." You get what I'm saying? Now, I've seen where guys roll out there the first series as a starter, and then the guy behind him ends up kind of taking over. So, I think he's going to have to compete for a spot. I'd like to think that he would be willing to compete for a spot. I think I'd like to think that he'd be willing to come in and prove that he's better. So then when he's in the locker room, there is no looking over like, oh, that dude ain't that good. He's like a buster.
But then how do you justify spending your spend if you're not sure he's the guy?
Well, they're sure he's the guy, but you still got to go do it. Right.
It's all about the result. It's all about.
I mean, they're sure he's the guy. So they're not. I'm hoping you're not spending out of just like desperation or like, okay, I don't know if he's the guy. I know I shouldn't. Let me backtrack. I don't know that. Right. Yeah. 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 I wish I could shoot the bird to somebody right now. But
right.
Anyways, I don't think you go and get a guy out of the portal, I guess, of his stature and not think that he can't play a significant role on defense. I don't think you go get him and be like, hey, dude, you compete for a third or fourth spot, and then hopefully you work in to get into some playing time in game 6.
But that's how funny. Like literally, all I could process yesterday was if you're doing this, you're making a statement about how you're doing business going forward.
In theory, not at all time, not every time, because dynamics could change. Because, okay, let's just play this. Say O'Shawn Mathis knocks it out of the park. Garrett Nelson knocks it out of the park. Or just O'Shawn Mathis knocks it out of the park. Garrett has the same year he does. Caleb steps his game up. Same with Jamari Butler, right? So now, next year, you don't have to get an O'Shawn Mathis. So you don't have to do it. Yet now, in theory, if you need a running back or whoever, then you need to do it. But you'd like to think that this is kind of like a bridge. So now, granted, I'm assuming every team is always going to evaluate and dip into the portal. That's just the way it is every year. Guys going into the portal from your team, guys coming into your team from the portal. So I think it won't be as like a regular thing. Like we got to do this for every guy. So if you get 10 guys out of the portal, it might not be on this level. So, but I'm just guesstimation. But you shown that all it shows me that you're willing to go out there, put yourself out there, and you put yourself out there to the point and to the magnitude and the process, I guess, to be appealing to a kid like this. So what that does, that gives me credibility. If I go to say to Rico's house or DP's house, they know all these kids have the internet. All these kids, it was on the bottom line. I mean, it was a big deal. It was national news, right? And so it could be another kid at Texas Tech or like what other schools? It could be a kid from Baylor, right?
Mm-hmm.
So a kid from Baylor might know who O'Shawn Mathis is either by competing against him in high school, competing against him in the Big 12, and say he's a left guard, I don't know, whatever that he could be. He'd be like, oh, okay, that's the spot. Okay, if O'Shawn's right, so that gives you instant, I guess, street cred or just credibility. So I think it works out that they're willing to do it, and it's obviously look, they definitely been on him. I mean, they highly sought after dude. He had a chance, I'm assuming, to kind of maybe go to the NFL, and kind of look at that, and so you're getting a guy that's, obviously different than most guys in the portal. You got 2 years of this dude playing, 2 years of like tape. This ain't like, oh, he was in a game or two. You get what I mean? Like, oh, he played a game or two. He suited up, right? Like I could play in a game or two and get in there after we're winning 45-0 and get 6 tackles against, whoever. There's no pressure. This dude has answered the bell for 2 years. 2 times, I think, all Big 12, right? 1 year he had 9 sacks. Last year he had 5? Or give or take?
4 or 5.
Okay, 4 or 5. So at the end, and then he's, had numerous tackles for loss. I think the little tape that you're able to find is that you see him show up in big games, Oklahoma, Baylor, those type of, what I mean? He's not out there against, Northwest Missouri State and, racking up 3 sacks, and then he ends up with 6 or 9. And then he hit up 2 teams that aren't even on, Power 5 level. He has 5 and he only has 4, in conference, where, it seems like he, raised his level of the game, or raised his level of play in bigger games. So I think, like I said, however they did it, they need to, obviously be proud of that. But then also, the work is not done. The work is never done.
Well, that's the thing. It's here's where it was this weekend as well. You said there's Black Twitter. Folks, say there's Black Twitter, which is different vacuum of information and tweets that go
better.
on. There's Nebraska Twitter. There's Husker Twitter. And Husker Twitter can be exhausting.
Mm-hmm.
It can be exhausting, especially on a weekend like this. So you use it. I use it to take the temperature of the room. Okay, what's important to the people here? But I'm not always sure that it's the temperature of the room, because it's just the outspoken class rather than maybe the people who move the machine.
Sure.
That we don't particularly know, that we're hearing from the people who write the checks to make things move within the Husker football program.
The people in the shadows.
Right. Well, but that's
very where they need it, where they want to be. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm sure winning is the most important to 99% of the fan base. Now at this point in time, however you get there, I think people are just get there.
And then ultimately,
once you start winning, then they'll start nitpicking you like Nick Saban.
Well, but then you
how
have
you
to
win,
get back
how
to
it
that.
looks, when
Right.
you won, where it was at, what was the temperature, what was the wind, can you play in the cold, can you play on New Year's Day versus the day after New Year's?
But that's totally that's totally fun. That type
Right.
of nitpicking, that people get upset about that, but it's much better and I guess more fun, easier to nitpick a winning program and just trying to find issues
Sure.
is a lot more fun than just
it's the-
having issues in front of your
anything
face.
in life right now, it's the easiest thing to do is to be negative.
Right.
It's the easiest thing to do.
Yeah.
It takes nothing.
It takes nothing. It almost takes more energy to kind of be supportive, right? Now, you don't want to be so supportive and have your head in the sand and like not face reality. But the easy thing for people on Twitter to do is like, question the coaching staff, question the coach, question recruiting. Does it really matter? It's same old stuff, or whatever. But some of it's justified because of what's happened. But that was, that's from last year, and you got to learn from it. Ideally, they would learn from it and move on. But the temperature of the room, I think, is all in positive. It doesn't matter what, I guess, whatever was negotiated or whatever, or potentially negotiated. The fact that you're able to do that lets you know that you have support. Because if you were dead in the water or people weren't supporting the program, and when you support the program, it has nothing to do with players or coaches. You support the program.
See, that's where I land
you know what I
every
mean?
day.
Right.
Is that
So you support the program.
Mhm.
So if you have the support of the program, then you can go out there and approach guys like this with 100% confidence because you have the support of the program. So the fact that this happens lets me know the support's there. Now, how do you get more support? Go out there and play well. How do you get more support? Is do all the other things you need to do, or maybe you haven't done before, better, and then everything kind of take care of itself. You know, if you win or have a winning season next year, 7, 8, 9 wins, nobody's talking about the first 4 years. They're like, holy crap, man, you just whatever you did in the offseason, we got to get this thing in this bottle here and we got to start selling it. Just like that. Just like that. 6 months. And it's not 6 months is not a long time. So if
well, it's
you're
a very long time if you're losing. There's no
Yeah.
great. There's
oh
no
well,
great,
yeah. If you're yeah, but in 6
Yeah.
months, which is like from now to when the season starts,
Mhm.
and say you start off winning, and then you have a winning season. When you look back on 2021, 20, 19, 18, nobody's going to be talking about that. Like the people that are talking now on a whole landscape. If you got to come and talk to me, then we got to put the facts down. Then we can look at it. But ultimately, if you handle your business, then everything will be okay. Winning is the most important thing. It's not the cure all, but it does. It masks. Well, first of all, there could be things going on in a program, and they could be 9-3, and the same things could be going on in a program and be 3-9. You don't hear about 9-3 because you're winning. I mean, whenever you've ever seen a report, I mean, you've seen them, but majority of the time after a win, they're not talking about. You can't talk to a coach like, oh, you just won, you just beat Wisconsin. Let's talk about who left in the transfer portal 6 months ago.
Mhm.
Like everybody look at it like, what do you? Those aren't questions you're going to get.
Yeah.
So, and then that's not really what's going to be the focus in the offseason. Say you win your bowl game, right? And you have a good
What?
You win your bowl game.
What is that, sir?
Yeah. You win or go to a bowl
I
game.
don't know.
Then you see improvement the next year. Then you can kind of start to put, credibility into your process. So I mean, time is not, I mean, look, man, I mean, I've been on both sides of this, been in it when Houston traded for me, you know what I'm saying? After 4 years in Buffalo,
What was that? What was your gut reaction to
I didn't want to go.
Right?
I did not want. I was
right,
like,
that happens, right?
well, yeah, you got to do what you got to do. I didn't want to go. Here's why I didn't want to go. I left. The Buffalo that I came into as an organization was different than when I left because obviously John Butler got fired and we had a new coach. But as abrasive as Greg Williams, Tom Donahoe was, I still remember the very first meeting that they had. I was like, these dudes are out of control. Like flat out, what the heck did Ralph Wilson, like what did they put in his drink to hire this dude? Now, granted, that was after the Super Bowl run of Tennessee Titans and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But then I said, you know what? This is professional sports. Me and my dad talked about this for it seemed like hours. He's like, dude, you got to figure it out. You got to embrace it. It's football. Da 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 da. So even though the program essentially in Buffalo was different, I still was loyal to the cause, and then I ended up starting to play better, right? And then played better. But then when I went to Houston, and it was like these dudes is like, I remember when Charlie Cashley was talking about. I mean, literally one of the most important things was him. Was pens and papers, jumpsuits, all the bells and whistles. Like in Buffalo, we were still meeting in meeting rooms in the stadium, and we had space heaters in there, but we were grinding. You get what I'm saying? We were getting the Gatorade from, like, if we need a Gatorade, we'd have to walk in the locker room. We didn't have all the bells, but that's just what we were doing. That's the only thing we knew.
Yeah.
We were so excited that we got like an indoor facility because we could practice when it was raining out and not be out there or practicing. We would just practice sometimes in the basketball gym. You know what I'm saying? But then when you go to Houston, And you see some of these dudes that are playing. I mean, we got Tony Baselli. You know, he looked like Frankenstein. He had all these damn scars on him and stuff.
Stitches.
And you know, didn't look nothing like a football player because he had just bone on bone shoulders. So they talking about, oh, we can get Tony Baselli to play. I'm just like, this dude ain't never gonna play. There's no way physically because he's not even going through mini camps.
I don't know why you talking about me on national radio like this.
Then we have Ryan Young. Right, hey,
Frankenstein.
Ryan, you ever seen some of them dudes ever had that knee that goes inverted and they run like the
It's
old
weird.
ramp? Right.
Yeah.
Ryan Young, who I played against at Kansas State, who was good. He had a bad knee, bad surgeon. I'm like, oh no. So I didn't want to go. I didn't want to go, but then again, you got to embrace it. You got to, that's what this, O'Shawn Mathis has to do.
But this is why this stuff, this transfer portal and this NIL stuff is important.
It is important
because you don't get to choose all the time. You don't always get to choose where you're going to go
when you're in there.
When you're in the system, you're just,
you get in there and then you see it's almost like
so
online dating. You got to see,
right?
Yeah, when you're O'Shawn Mathis, you got choices.
Right.
When you're somebody else, you don't have choices. So this is why I call it the vortex, right? The vortex is appealing because we're talking about O'Shawn Mathis.
Uh-huh.
There's 3,000 other kids out there that we ain't talking about.
But that's why. But they're both the reason why you have it.
Sure.
It is the great weeding, but it's also the great coronation and celebration of years of work.
It's your rebirth or your quick death,
right?
In your
like
football career.
To go through, and it's necessary. Like you're allowing people to go through this process, put in the work, change their location. Somebody could say, "Well, this kid's not fast enough, not strong enough." There's
somebody else be like, "Yeah,
that's
hey,
good."
You could be like Mel Tucker, that told Craig Ironhead Hayward's youngest son, "Hey, man," and he said, "Look, Kenneth Walker beat you out. Okay.
What do you want to do?"
No, he said, "Well, you can. I'm open for you to go to the transfer portal if you find a better opportunity, but you're always welcome back here. But this is the role that I got for you." Right? That takes some. That hurts your pride. You're pissed off, but
or you can appreciate it,
and you got to respect it.
Right?
Okay. So he did it. Came back. Welcomed the new role. His leadership profile went off the charts. Right? He became a bigger factor as the season came in. Made big plays in big games. The team took off. Now he gets drafted to Pittsburgh in the 6th round. You get what I'm saying?
To play with his people.
But just the fact that he's there. To a good organization, it all seems to work out if you go and approach it. And sometimes guys jump in, I don't know. Faders was in there twice?
Yeah.
So you got to figure it out. And sometimes it works out.
Like you said, it just through all of it, it's Jay Foreman being thrilled, being drafted, and saying, you know what, you got to just accept it and you got to get to work. And then Jay Foreman going, you know what? Doggone, it stinks to have somebody tell you where you got to go, and then you got to work within that space because your career could have been affected by being in Houston rather than you be going to Dallas or New England.
It does affect you. It does. It affects everybody when you get drafted. If you think of David Carr in Houston, I was like, he ain't got a chance to be successful.
And you're married to it, and you were absolutely married to it. You could do nothing.
We used to roll up and like if we gave up 17 points, we know we won't win.
But that
straight up.
So
because you got a rookie quarterback with the worst offensive line in NFL history.
Yeah,
Rico, 82 sacks. Do you understand me?
I remember watching those Texans.
My man had PTSD so much that I talked to Joey Porter after the game. He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "You got to tell David Carr." He helped me win. I think he got $200,000 for his, sack incentives. He got 2 sacks that David Carr. A sack is if I'm chasing you as a quarterback and you go out of bounds behind the line of scrimmage and I'm closer to you, I get that sack. Yep. So he got 3. He got 3 sacks. He's like, "Yeah, I just got to do it." He's like, "You got to thank him." He was taking sacks like just out of habit.
He triple pumped on an out route.
He's like, "I ain't never seen nobody open. Hold on, no, this is."
He was like, "Where's the safety?"
Yeah,
he's waiting.
Yeah, he triple pumped on an out route.
I don't want to have to.
Like you really.
He said, "I don't want to have to try and make this tackle or get blocked by a defensive lineman. I don't want this.
I don't want this life." All right, Rico, take us a break.
All right, we'll be right back with Rico's What's Up. Grab your tea, grab your coffee. I'll show you what's up.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. 93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Cloudy skies with rain moving in by late this morning into this afternoon. We'll see a high of 48 with falling temperatures this afternoon and northeast winds at 15 to 20. Rain slowly moves out tonight with a low down to around 40. We should see clearing skies by tomorrow afternoon with a high of around 58. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
If you need to sell equipment and trucks, Ritchie Brothers' new Lincoln Storage Yard lets you free up space at your property and get local access to all Ritchie Brothers auctions. Drop your equipment off and sell it online at any Ritchie Brothers auction, Iron Planet, or via Marketplace E. The yard is at 8801 Highway 6 in Lincoln. It's secure and makes for easy in-person buyer inspections and pickup. Take advantage of this yard to sell at Ritchie Brothers Great Plains Regional Auction on June 16th. For details, visit rbauction.com/Lincoln.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
This is Dan Friedman. Between 2010 and 2019, distracted driving caused more than 40,000 car crashes in Nebraska, resulting in over 14,000 severe injuries and deaths. Please keep your eyes on the road. If you have a smartphone, put it away while you're behind the wheel. It will help keep our community safe and secure. This message is brought to you by Friedman Law Offices, helping injured people. It's what we do. It's all we do. Find us at friedmanlaw.com today.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful.
I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman.
Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
Yeah, it was great.
We're definitely coming back.
Sure. Sauter Heyman Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island. SauterHeyman.com.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Happy Hour with Nick Sainert and Enrique Alvarez Clary.
The problem is when NIL was first instated, the NCAA was just like, okay, well, we're taking a step back. Go ahead, do it. You guys handle everything you want, universities, and feel free to deal with this as you see fit.
In my opinion, when you insert that word contract and you have an agent, that's when it becomes more professional-like and less about a college athlete making some money off of their name, image, and likeness.
Weekdays from 2 to 3 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hi, this is Dave Osted from Osted's Golf. Let us make this your best season yet. Voted a top 100 fitter by Golf Digest, our master fitters have been trained by the same guys that build clubs for PGA pros like Rory, Tiger, DJ, and Jordan. Have old clubs? Trade them in Osted's Value Guide, or have our club specialists get your clubs swinging like new. Go to our website and make your fitting appointment. You're a click away from a better golf game. Play better, have fun, and shop Osted's.
Back to Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to Old School right here on 93.7 The Ticket, live on 4 platforms.
What?
Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter.
What?
Shout out to Twitter for letting us go live on one of my favorite applications in social media.
Okay, didn't know we were doing that.
Yeah, we are. We're very fancy.
That's good news. We're fancy. Did you see us in the paper yesterday?
I did.
Did you see that?
We popular. Shout out Sam McEwen.
Right? Omaha.
Omaha World Herald.
Yeah.
On the front page. What?
Yeah.
Look at that.
So people puckered up.
What?
So wait a minute.
What? But
Wait a second.
I thought we didn't matter.
Little low 93.7 the
I
ticket.
thought we were broke and gonna shut down and
We still have
what
3 more months from
What?
what that person said.
What?
We have 3 more months to run out of money. Just saying. Right? 8.
Oh, I didn't know. I don't know anything.
I think it was 8 months. We
Yeah,
broke in 8
boy,
months.
Look.
Unless that was from when not the new year, but from when you.
Right.
No, I think it was the new year. So yeah, we have 3 more months.
No, it's from when we took it over.
Yeah, no, from the I think it was the new year. I don't think it was from when you took it over.
Oh, okay.
I think it was from the new year.
Well, that gave us that meant 6 months already.
Well, I think he said 8.
Well, then it's over already.
Oh yeah, you're right.
It's over.
Are we out of money?
No.
Oh.
No, as a matter of fact, we're
Okay. Is my paycheck gonna bounce? Should I worry about
crazy,
that?
no, not. I don't know. You tell me.
Looks good to me.
Stupid.
Y'all crazy, man.
No, I
Say.
just look.
I gotta
you
pay-
know,
gotta buy
look,
diapers.
right?
Right.
Papa Nikki, baby needs shoes.
Yeah. Even
No.
though she only wants to wear rain boots, but it's fine.
It's funny. Like I said, just shout out to the Omaha World Herald for coming and having the conversation. And we'll talk about 9 o'clock with a little bit more in detail. But thank you, Sam McEwen, for doing what he did, and just he came in and made time and asked questions, and they took pictures and shared pictures, some really cool pictures as well. So bravo. But we'll talk about that later. Rico, what's up?
Woke up this morning and I got out of bed. Had a big old cup of coffee to clear my head. Telephone rang and you wanna chat? Well, sit on down and tell me what up with that. Ooh-wee. What up with that? What up with that? Ooh-wee. What up with that? What up with that? He said, she said, we said, he said, what up with that?
Great horns.
Who you said what?
Great
What up
horns.
with that? What up with that?
Finish strong, Rico.
Yes.
That's how you get the Monday kicking.
Jay was a little bit closer to dancing.
He really was.
He's turning in his
watching
chair.
you just to see.
That's okay.
Just to see you, just to experience.
You don't have to admit
every
it.
single day.
You don't have to admit it yet, but you're getting closer.
Yeah, he did a little toe tap.
It'll get you one
He
day.
did a little toe tap.
I was counting the seconds. That's what I was doing.
It is
Jay hasn't
exactly
figured- Jay hasn't figured-
45.322 seconds.
Which seems like 4 minutes and 52 seconds.
And at this point, he's playing the long version simply for Jay.
100%.
Oh, I know he is. I know.
100.
Somebody asked me, does he have to play the long version every time? I said, Rico will only play the long version from here on out.
Just for Jay.
Until Jay dances,
Hey.
I
It's
will
not-
play
well,
the
then
long
we
version.
did- then we did- then
All
we
I
did
need
can
is
end it.
yeah. All I
Jay
need
can
is
end
one
it
time,
all by
and then we'll go
dancing
short version
one
every
time.
Oh, no. No. If I'm going to dance, then it ain't going to be on.
Wait, see. Well,
gotta-
that's just it. I'm saying you could kill
Then I
it.
guess we'll go long
You
version
can
every
kill
time.
it. You can kill it with one
I'm not a
dance.
dancer no more, man.
With one
It's okay.
dance. Oh, we were talking about we're gonna do a Soul Train line video.
Ew, we weren't talking. You were
No,
talking.
I wasn't talking. Actually, it was Becky and Mark and
Rashawn.
Yeah, they're like, all right, for TikTok. I was like, oh, you know what's gonna be? Just Jay Foreman pausing and then walking down the line.
He'll just look. He'll just look right at the camera.
It just
and then
walk
walk.
straight down the line, and it'll be the best part of the video.
Just gonna
Yeah.
shake his head while he's walking. Whoever's dancing next to him
I
is just like,
I always be thinking, what the hell I got into, man?
That's all it is. We're having some fun.
I
Rico,
know,
what's
it's
up?
all good.
I'm just gonna hit this because everybody keeps mentioning it.
Mm.
Apparently, the University of Texas Longhorns had 0 players drafted during the 3-day NFL draft.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh, I know they hot down there, boy.
Man, that must have been some space this morning down in Austin, Texas.
Poor
I didn't even realize. I was scrolling through Twitter after the draft, and every other post was
Well,
Sam Ellinger. We're back. And it was like 0 players.
You know what they're gonna say is like, oh, we were extremely young last year. They got a good running back though.
And especially after the O'Shawn Mathis decision, people were like, not only did they miss out on one of the best pass rushers in the portal, but they also had nobody drafted.
I saw one thing where it must have been like on a chat line or kind of one of those blogs or whatever, where somebody was like, we need to fire all the coaches and administration, and they were like, why? He's like, because we were losing players to Nebraska. That's not then that's the we got to shut the doors and we lose players in Nebraska. So I bet it'd be cool to listen to some of the call-in shows down there, or like was it Steve Sarkisian has his like weekly show or something.
When did we do that? Me and Nick did that once after somebody. I think it was after Arkansas lost their super regional. We listened to a little bit, and all the callers were like, "You fire everybody.
Yeah,
get rid of the coaches. This is just a terrible baseball team." And but you would just okay. So listen to Texas call-in radio would be really fun.
Yes.
Or you could just call in. We could send all of our listeners to call.
We need to find a radio station though. Just everybody calls into one. You can't call into. So just we need to find one, listen to it, find out how angry they are, and then find the number.
Or get on get on one of their like chat lines and just start stirring the pot.
Just blow it up.
Just keep sending pictures of O'Shawn Mathis in Nebraska.
All you need a meme with like Scott Frost just going, "Hey Texas, y'all mad? Y'all okay?"
Beautiful.
Or the one where they have the picture of the guy with his girl and then he's looking back.
Yeah.
O'Shawn Mathis and Scott Frost and he's looking back at Texas or for whatever it is.
Yeah, man. It's like, oh boy, this is where this is.
Perfect.
Oh.
Everybody get your memes ready.
Oh,
We're gonna invade Texas radio.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right, second hour of Old School coming up next. We'll hit on some NBA playoffs, a little bit more Husker talk, some more, maybe a little bit of draft talk as well, right here on 93.7 The Ticket.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Springtime is here, and it's time to get to work on outdoor projects. Deck City is a great place to start as Lincoln's local source for everything decks. Deck City has everything you need to build the deck of your dreams. From treated lumber to Westbury aluminum railings and TimberTech composite decking. Call them today to schedule an appointment at 402-480-6671. Go online at deckcityne.com or visit their new location just north of 33rd and Cornhusker Highway.
You know you want that smoky, tangy, sweet, and spicy sauced and tossed Wingstop, but you just brought a haul of groceries home from the store. It's cool. No one expects you to shop and cook in the same day. So let the flavor experts at Wingstop hook you up with mouth-watering wings, crispy tenders and thighs, fries and sides delivered to your door. You can always cook tomorrow. That's why the fridge was invented. Get it delivered at wingstop.com.
Order online now from the new Wingstop located at 5001 O Street. 2-1 count, and that's a deep drive into the gap. Smith rounding first base. It's a stand-up double.
Hey, Nick, speaking of doubles, did you know Wings and Rings has 2 ways to enjoy their next level food?
Rico, we're in the middle of a game.
The game can wait, Nick. One way is to stop by one of their Lincoln locations. They have 2 great locations at O Street, Meridian Park, and 40th and Old Cheney in Williamsburg Village.
You said 2 ways. What's the other way?
You can order online at wingsandrings.com.
Spring is here. Are you giving your yard the best chance at being healthy and green? Call Penner Sprinkler and Lawn to get your sprinklers ready to go for the season if they haven't been working properly. They're also scheduling installs for new sprinkler systems if you don't have one, so make sure you contact them early to get a bid as soon as possible. Plus, they're your one place to go for 5-step fertilizer and pesticide application and lawn aeration. Call Penner Sprinkler and Lawn today at 402-413-1215.
Southeast Community College is training tomorrow's workforce today with our nearly 60 career and technical programs. We are doing our part to help employers fill vacancies during this current labor shortage, graduating students with skill sets employers are seeking. We're also helping to upskill the workforce by adding short-term credentials like certificates in many programs so that employees can get retraining quickly. Learn more about upskilling with SCC at southeast.edu/academics. SCC, your path to possible.
Did you know that the U.S. has added over 1,100 new breweries in the last 18 months? Learn more by shopping at Myers Cork and Bottle, 13th and South, and by tuning into Thirsty Thursdays with Kevin Myers, because sports are better with a drink in your hand and a friend at your side.
Coming at you live from the Coppel Chevrolet GMC studios. This is Old School, brought to you by Sandhills Global. Broadcasting veteran Derek Pearson.
When you find something that moves them, that makes them smile, celebrate it. That's your task. That's your superpower.
Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score!
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to Old School Hour 2 on this dreary Monday. A Monday full of rain and clouds and
so gray.
Lack of sun.
So gray.
But we're happy in here, kind of. I don't know anymore.
We are. We're in a good mood.
I don't know anymore.
We're in a good mood.
Jay Foreman doesn't want to dance. It's just sad. Just makes me just not.
They got nothing to do with Monday.
I'm just going to ask him to walk down the Soul Train line. Like, he can even frown when he does it.
Honestly, it'd be funnier if the camera like got to him and he looked down the line and then he just walked away.
Yeah,
like he didn't walk down the line.
Like he was
that'd be all natural. Once I see you,
he was like, no.
Once I see Rico,
I'm gonna get the whole outfit. I don't know how far away this is. I'll grow the hair out.
Oh, you know which outfit I want to do? Jeffrey from Fresh Prince. When he got on Soul Train with the black and gold, and he got the wig and the glasses.
Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's how I'm gonna come down. That's how we'll come through.
Yeah, I can see you guys doing that.
Well, you said you guys.
I can see you doing that.
I'm gonna dress like Scooby Doo from Scooby Doo.
What is
when he had the big wig and the like platform shoes?
Oh,
trying to.
You could do that.
Yeah.
Or you could do like Kramer. Kramer walking down the street. Seinfeld.
Goodness gracious.
Would Simple see? But here's the question. I think Simple would actually dance.
Oh, Simple would.
Yeah.
He would protest for a while, but I think he would.
He would. He'll shadow box all the way down to Soul Train line.
It'd be great.
Yeah. Really yeah. So they were having a good time with it. So
yeah, welcome into Old School. Honda Lincoln Hotline. Starting here text line 402-464-5685. Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter. Starter Heyman Jewelers live video stream. Hit us up. Hit us with a what's up DP, what's up Jay, what's up Rico. We might answer a question or two. I don't know. Depends on what you ask, how you ask it.
Yeah. Scott says this. I listened to one YouTube show from some Texas guys, and they were pretty good. Obviously concerned with the outcome, but not just blindly blaming name, image, and likeness like lots of folks. Talked about how the scheme fit was more of what Mathis was looking for. So, and Corbett says boring. He's going to say, well, I mean, at some point, a lot of the conversation gets on the lowest common denominator, which is to blame it on NIL or give credit to NIL.
Yeah.
And
I mean, that's the easy excuse, but the scheme is
matters.
a big deal. And even though his coach was there, Gary Patterson, but Gary Patterson's defense, if it was something that he didn't feel that was showing his best ability, then why would he go down to Texas and think it'd be any different? So obviously Nebraska, there was games where they rushed the passer pretty well, and so schematics wise, I think Shenander's experience and Dawson's experience, two coaches obviously that he's going to be working closely with, of coaching in the NFL and improving the defense every year, it was obviously very appealing to him and should be to other kids as well.
Well, I think a lot of what happened this weekend was for folks who wanted something positive to latch onto to get through the next couple of months. You got it.
Yeah, I mean,
you got it. You got Cam Jurgens, second round. You got Cam Taylor Britt in the second round. You could claim Wandell.
That'd be desperation.
Well, look, all of it's desperation. I always find it interesting when people claim the victory on draft day.
It's not your win.
Yeah, it's not your win.
It's not. No,
you can be happy for it, but that's not.
It's not your win.
Yeah. Nebraska fan base hung on the UCF for like 2 years.
Yeah.
After that, Mackenzie Melton as well.
Yeah, when he went in transfer portal. Oh my God, it's happening! No,
bring him home.
It's not.
This was never home.
It's not happening. So
so I think it's you gotta be happy for Wandell. He bet on himself, went back home, had a phenomenal year, ended up being a second round pick. And
question, Jay Foreman.
So
would Wandell have had that happen had he stayed?
Why are you stoking the fire?
Well, no, because look,
I'm trying to think how this season. I don't know if he.
I could change the question.
I know he would have been productive. I don't know if
he would have had 98 catches and
what?
Well, he couldn't have because you had a tight end that had 60 and Torrey had 40.
Right.
The question is,
we don't understand why he did what he did.
Would he have been a wide receiver still, or would they have lined him up in the backfield again?
I think if Wandell stayed, I don't know if Torrey comes. Maybe. I don't know. I mean, that's all shoulda, coulda, woulda. I mean, he would have had a productive year. I don't really think 98 catches is why he went in the second round. I think his playmaking ability. So he could have had 50, 60 catches and made as many plays and then still went whenever. So he had a super productive year. Kentucky played well. Okay. People just seem to forget that. Kentucky played well. His profile and his draft status went up with that. Then he ran well, and plus again, I said it before. Moore came out the year before, and he's down in Arizona. So when NFL likes comparables, and it's a copycat league. He had a good year with Arizona. Here comes the next and coming. Everybody's trying to do the same thing. So, or not the same thing, or more open to doing the same thing when you have recent success. So,
how do you think he gets used in the league?
Kind of like he'd be like he's obviously purely a slot receiver. He's going to have to be good in the return game, both punt and kickoff return. Which they said actually he didn't really field punts this year, which is odd to me considering that would be just a factor that would separate him from a lot of people. So I think special teams and being a guy that's going to be a matchup problem because even though he's only 5'9", 180, he's tough and he's built stout. He's strong, he's quick, short area quickness, and he's explosive out of his breaks, and he has home run speed. So he's going to be a matchup problem for any slot, and especially if he gets matched up on like a linebacker like me or, somebody even bigger than me, he's going to definitely give people problems.
From the text line, why claim a kid who constantly took jab after jab after Nebraska? Did he?
Not that I know of.
A little bit.
There was a little bit right when he transferred.
Right when he transferred, then it was a little bit after. I think after his bowl game thing or something, he said something, or kind of like when he did one of those deals, but nothing too over the line. I'm sure there's some inner workings that he didn't necessarily think was right, or vice versa. I don't think there's any bad blood, but I think he's from Kentucky, man, and he went back there. You got to be happy for him.
Yeah.
Yes, I would rather him to be here. But sometimes no matter what you say to him, you maybe, and plus with the COVID year and all the other stuff, things kind of like worked in the favor for him to go back there. So, and Kentucky needed him, and they showed him. It's no different than O'Shawn Mathis come here. The way that we reacted to O'Shawn Mathis whenever he committed is the same way they reacted to him going back to Kentucky. So ideally, we can get the same production. Everybody be happy. Best thing you can do is just be happy for Wan'Dale. He's worked for it. He never was a bad teammate, never was a bad kid. And he just chose to do different. I don't think it's, it's kind of like when Feldarius said he didn't have any ill will. Hopefully there's not vice versa. We can see opportunity for him here. Sometimes they just want to go play football back home.
Yeah.
That's the way it is. Everybody's got that one free transfer. And so guys are using it, whether it's early or late. So it's just one of those things.
Like I've said before, the players don't hold any ill will towards some of these people that transfers. You could tell because as soon as Wan'Dale got drafted, there was a bunch of Husker players or, former Husker players who played with Wan'Dale that were sending out tweets congratulating him for getting drafted.
Yeah, I don't think the players ever have, well, I won't say ever, but majority of the time don't have ill will because they're in it together and they can kind of understand and maybe they know the thought process more than people on the outside.
Yeah, well, so Sunday Morning Pancakes, so Wan'Dale was Banks' roommate. And he talks about, he says, no, I love that guy. Like everything about him. And I think public perception of relationships within the program versus actually having people in the room go, no, we love that dude. Now, one texter said that he said yesterday that he wouldn't have been taken in the second round had he stayed in Nebraska. And I
most likely not.
No.
I mean, if
like he wasn't wrong. Like,
if Kentucky had the
taking a
same
jab.
record in the same year and Nebraska had the same year, most likely not.
Yeah, I mean that's not taking a jab. I'm not taking a jab. I was asking a question. The same way. I didn't even know that he had done the interview. So,
well, the thing is, if you line Wan'Dale up in the backfield and does whatever, is he a second round running back? No, he's a second round receiver. And the way that Nebraska was using him, he wasn't being used very much at receiver. They were using him at running back, and he's not a second round running back. So it makes sense.
Yeah, I mean the statement was somewhat factual, but you can always take everything personally. Or personally choose not to take everything personally.
Right. Who gets? There were some people who tried to give credit for draft status this weekend to various people on the coaching staff.
For Wan'Dale?
No, for Cam, for both Cams.
Okay.
They said that people took a chance. They moved it tight end to center. They held on to it. They did this thing, and I'm of the club that says I'm going to give credit to the players for the work that was done.
Well, I think it's both. I think you got to give Scott Frost and Greg Austin credit for having the vision for Cam, and then you got to give Cam credit for being open to it and willing to put in the amount of work to build his body up to be able to compete at that position. And then,
I mean, going through all of that criticism the first 2 years.
And then keep at it and fighting and then obviously playing well. So I think it's both. I mean, in order for it to be successful, you got to have a vision. You got to be able to see, you got to be able to sell it to them that where it's advantageous for you, ideally advantageous for the team. You got to have something comparable. And then he's got to be willing to put in the work. And then you got to make sure that you're constantly, keeping in contact with him and then, lock in step with him as he's going through the process, because I think Cam might have been like 235, 240 coming out of high school. Maybe. I don't know. I don't remember. He's tight end, so he couldn't be that much bigger. So just to get to 280 and be willing to put in the work for that is astronomical. That falls, 100% on Cam, Dave Ellis, Zach Duvall, the weight coach. It's a whole collaborative effort. You get what I'm saying? It's the coaches, the players, the support staff, the nutrition staff. It's the the trainers with Mark Meyer and all them. They got to make sure that they're doing everything to make sure that as his body's starting to grow or he's adding weight, that his, flexibility isn't lost. He's not losing athletic ability. So, the payoff is there, and you got to give credit where credit's due. And so, look, regardless of how or why Cam ended up leaving early, that's water underneath the bridge. It worked out for Cam. It worked out for Nebraska. He'll represent Nebraska well. And as people get older, everything will be fine. That's the way it is.
Did you pay much attention to the DBs and their place in the draft? The fact, I mean, we're good that Deontay's going to get an opportunity, but what did you think? Did you think that they had earned kind of a better place than?
Yeah, I thought Deontay would have got drafted, maybe 5th, 6th, 7th round.
Do you think the age held him back?
Maybe, probably.
Well, but I mean, it's the same thing they said about JoJo.
I think a little bit, but I think
25.
it's supply and demand. There's a lot of those guys out there, and so if you're not, well, here's just from my experience working down in Houston is that, and talking to other people in other organizations, that sometimes scouts and scouting departments, they like the easy way, right? So if you're one team and we pass some notes, okay, well, instead of doing, let me fact check this. You get what I'm saying? So essentially, Rico's opinion is based off of what we're saying. Maybe not fully, but it's definitely influencing, right? So, when and then teams are going to do more due diligence on winning teams and winning players, small school kids that they aren't able to see all the time. And they sometimes leapfrog guys that, oh, he's an older safety. He's just a guy. But if you watch Deontay's tape and you watch him senior year up until he hurt his knee in Minnesota, you're like, oh, homeboy can play. And he's willing and he's effective on special teams. He keeps his body in phenomenal shape. He's a good kid. He's got leadership skills. So he's a guy that when he gets into camp, and he's tailor-made for Seattle. He's going to come down. He's a thumper, can make plays. He's fast. He's quick. As long as he stays healthy, he'll be fine.
Do we know if he's healthy?
Yeah, he's healthy because he ran 4.4 something at the pro day. So, I mean, if that ain't healthy, then I wish I was that.
I wish I wasn't healthy. You can run 4.4.
Yeah, I think he's healthy and everything checked out. But, man, look, when you get a little bit later in the draft, you just never know. I was fortunate enough and blessed to get drafted. That's huge. It's something that there's only few people walking on earth can say. But I know there's a lot of guys that should have been drafted, and I played with a lot of guys that shouldn't have been drafted. It sucks because the only person that's really happy after the draft is the dude that went number 1.
Was that the quietest number 1 in history? Can you?
Yeah, because it's Jacksonville.
Right,
like it's Jacksonville.
Can you imagine?
It kind of worked out perfectly though, because Aiden Hutchinson got to stay in Michigan and play for Detroit.
But it was a quiet, like this was.
Well, it's hard to sell a guy that goes number 1 over Aiden Hutchinson and Thibodeau when he only had 6 sacks and wasn't even all conference.
Yeah, it just seemed like.
So what could you say? Hey, we got a guy that's honorable mention, all SEC.
I think they said that's the first time that a guy that wasn't all conference went number 1 overall.
Like it seemed to be like it was the most downplayed number 1 that I can recall.
It was weird
because there's no quarterbacks. No quarterbacks went so late, so there wasn't
one quarterback went until the 3rd round.
So it wasn't
Which
exciting.
They were wrong again. Like just
they had Willis at one point in time going number 2 to Detroit, or Detroit trading up and getting another pick. They were going to get a defensive end and then him.
There was a point where he was supposed to go 20th overall to Pittsburgh, I think.
Yeah, because after him and Mike Tomlin ate chicken wings.
He dropped because he lifts his right foot off the ground after he throws. And I said,
they said his base isn't good.
And I said, then you have very few quarterbacks in the NFL, because
he said his base is crooked and his feet aren't pointed the right way, and he's not very accurate. All that fun stuff.
It's a great thing about scouting. They look at your tape and see you making all these plays, and then they write paragraph upon paragraphs and books upon books about the little things you can't do, and don't think about the 20 things you can do.
And they thought of, I mean, this is the Bryce Harper swing when he first got to the league. And somebody says, well, yeah, but he heel kicks at the end of inside fastballs. And I just went, you have looked too much. Like, put it down.
That's what happens when you're supremely talented. Is the only thing that people can look at is what you do wrong.
Yeah.
And try to find something, some way that they can justify not wanting to take you before somebody else.
Just crazy.
It's look, man, it's perception and reality. Some of these young men are facing that they should have maybe listened to other people when they made those decisions. Look at Sam Howell, right? I think he had eligibility left. If he would have came out in 2020, probably a top 15, 20 pick. 21, he loses 2 running backs and his 2 starting receivers, and his tight end gets hurt. Okay, but then, some agent sat in his living room with his family and was like, you can still slide in that first round, man. I can get you the first round if you just have a good workout. You go to the first round,
Wonderlic.
So, we'll have you ready to go.
Wonderlic.
And now he's like, oh man, that scholarship check and $200,000 NIL deal and working on my craft to become a better draft pick, option for teams isn't so bad.
And now
Where's he at?
Washington.
How'd you feel about the? You know what?
Well, in actuality, that's actually a great spot for him.
Jay says
because
he's going to win the starting job.
By the end of the season, he'll be starting. Carson Wentz, like I said, he's a rusty old can.
I love that.
And and Sam Howell or Tyler Heineke. Was it Tyler Heineke? Taylor Heineke, whatever.
Whatever his name
is. He's going to be in there.
That's so funny. This is just
let's find out how everybody drafted coming up next on the list.
Well, no, we got John Squire.
Oh yeah, we got John Squire.
We got John Squire. Then we'll close out with.
Okay, we'll do that.
Yeah.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. In every office, there's 2 types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
If you need to sell equipment and trucks, Ritchie Brothers' new Lincoln Storage Yard lets you free up space at your property and get local access to all Ritchie Brothers auctions. Drop your equipment off and sell it online at any Ritchie Brothers auction, Iron Planet, or via Marketplace E. The yard is at 8801 Highway 6 in Lincoln. It's secure and makes for easy in-person buyer inspections and pickup. Take advantage of this yard to sell at Ritchie Brothers Great Plains Regional Auction on June 16th. For details, visit rbauction.com/Lincoln.
Happy Hour with Nick Sainert and Enrique Alvarez Clary.
The problem is when NIL was first instated, the NCAA was just like, okay, well, we're taking a step back. Go ahead, do it. You guys handle everything you want, universities, and feel free to deal with this as you see fit.
In my opinion, when you insert that word contract and you have an agent, that's when it becomes more professional-like and less about a college athlete making some money off of their name, image, and likeness.
Weekdays from 2 to 3 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and it's been a great start here to the year as 2022 new inventory continues to roll in. Our pre-owned lot remains full, and we are selling at a record pace. I was just down at Koppel talking about a new order for myself, and they let me know I can actually start ordering a 2023 here later this spring. So stop on in to get your new 2022, your pre-owned vehicle, or maybe talk about ordering here for 2023. Check them out online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did.
Husker fans, your Nebraska softball team is competing for the 2022 Big Ten regular season title. There are 3 more chances to support your Huskers at home during Fan Appreciation Weekend, May 6th through the 8th. The team hosts Indiana, a 3-game series with giveaways each day. For more information on promotions, visit Huskers.com. Get your single game tickets now at Huskers.com/tickets or call 1-800-8-BIG-RED.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
This is Dan Friedman. Between 2010 and 2019, distracted driving caused more than 40,000 car crashes in Nebraska, resulting in over 14,000 severe injuries and deaths. Please keep your eyes on the road. If you have a smartphone, put it away while you're behind the wheel. It will help keep our community safe and secure. This message is brought to you by Friedman Law Offices, helping injured people It's what we do. It's all we do. Find us at freedmanlaw.com today.
Niederhouse Refuse Roll-Off and Recycling takes this time to salute our soldiers, veterans, and those who have given their lives. These amazing men and women put their lives on the line for our freedom. Let's make sure they know how much we appreciate them. This message from Niederhouse Refuse Roll-Off and Recycling, whose quality service and expertise has earned them a fine reputation. Stop by 1905 Yolande Avenue in Lincoln or call 402-475-8361. Niederhouse Refuse Roll-Off and Recycling, wishing our military, neighbors, and friends a safe and happy Memorial Day.
Back to Old School with DP and J.
Welcome back. Old School on a Monday. I don't know.
I love it when Rico starts an off-air conversation that gets him fired up, and then he can't.
And then I'm like, I
can't.
Okay, we're good though. We're fine.
I can't finish that.
I'm just eating my Wildberry Pop-Tarts.
I
Having
can't-
a good day.
What is that?
Wildberry.
Would that be in the milk diet or not in the milk diet?
Definitely not in the milk diet.
I still don't even know what the milk diet is. I'm still trying to work on it.
Well, it's for processed. Well, that's a Pop-Tart is probably as processed as you can get. Right? It says real fruit, but there's nothing real about that.
Oh man,
Real fake fruit.
Real fake fruit.
Yeah. So my buddy, who I was texting Jay about the draft, and Washington came up, and my buddy, Jay was. I knew
Hey,
he was
man.
laughing. I knew he was laughing.
That was the best interview ever. He said, "Hey, we were thinking I'm going third, fourth round. These cats called second round." He's like, "Of course, I was hyped." But I don't know why he was going in third or fourth round because he had 9 sacks. He was a superior pass rusher for the University of Alabama. So I think he's just going to be. I think he's going to be productive. I don't think he's obviously as good as Jonathan Allen, but
Or
There-
Deron, like
there-
you
there's
have
some- there's-
you
there's-
have Deron Payne,
but they don't like each other.
You
They're two
have
brothers
Mike
fighting.
Ioannidis. You had Ioannidis up there. You had they had Tim Settle.
But you got Payne and Allen throwing.
But Payne, and then Payne's out this year. Like he's gonna be out. Like they're not gonna re-sign him.
Right.
Or
So they're gonna end up trying to trade him, I bet.
right. So then you go and get the next best thing, which is the next best thing out of Alabama.
Well, it's worked out well for him, so you can't really fault him. But
Well-
there was a few guys that got some surprise phone calls. I mean, just imagine being down at University of Tennessee, Chattanooga,
Dude was chilling.
and thinking like, yeah, and he had a
Fourth, fifth round.
he had a good Senior Bowl. I'll give him credit, but to jump all the way up to be drafted by New England in the first round.
Like he thought it was a joke. I bet he hung up on him twice.
No, he
Said
walked.
whatever.
You know what he did? You know how you do the interviews down at at the Senior Bowl?
Yeah.
He walked in and saw something. He
Yeah,
said, "You know what?
yeah.
Yeah." His
Yeah.
agent called us. Hey,
Yeah, he was there.
Rico was telling me about the little situation.
Yeah,
That first round pick looks real
it
good.
looked real,
They were
real
like,
good.
damn.
Like, dude, no, he had
For a fact, Cole Strange was not watching the draft on the first day.
right. Like he also didn't.
He was
like
fishing.
he was
He
not
did not. They
prepared.
did not have a draft party.
He was fishing.
He had no
He got
idea.
a call on the boat.
He had no idea. He had no idea. And it's
Say yes,
amazing.
sir.
They came out on the emergency boat because he probably was out there, didn't have no self service.
Call.
Like answer your phone.
Right. You know
Dude,
you got drafted.
There's
Yeah,
some dude said he was Bill Belichick. I hung up on him.
Yeah, some guy named Bill Belichick.
right. Yeah, down in Tennessee, Chattanooga. Yeah.
Yeah,
We thought it was a spoof.
I have no idea. But
idea who that is.
so
Sorry, I have no idea. Like the only name that I recognize from the Patriots draft class is Bailey Zappi, the Western Kentucky quarterback, because he threw for 1,000,000 yards and like 63 touchdowns last year.
I don't even know what to do with Washington's draft. Like, and Buffalo.
Let's check.
Buffalo doesn't even need. Like, what did they need?
Corner.
Right. So they
Yeah.
drafted.
They
several-
drafted him.
Yeah.
He's supposed to be pretty
They
good.
drafted two corners.
Yeah.
One from Villanova.
I don't know what to do with Washington. I don't know what to do with Carolina.
Let's find the command.
Like, I don't know what to do with Houston. Like the three teams that I would have like looked at.
Hey,
like I don't.
I don't know what Houston. I mean, I know Stingley was cold blooded. I give it. He cold, but you got a dude that ain't never gave a touchdown in college, and people talking about he's next level, and you just gonna be like, we're just gonna take this dude because he performed good as a freshman.
Let's take him.
I
with
they're-
bad feet.
Well, I'll say that like they're all better. They're all smarter than I am, right? All these decision makers.
You got Chris Paul.
Smarter than I am. Yeah, they
Not
thought
that
that-
Chris Paul.
No, but we actually thought we were getting Chris Paul, like 38-year-old Chris
Yeah.
Paul. Like they was like, oh, this
They
is.
said, "Ooh,
well,
Chris
they-
Paul grew. He's 6'4".
Yeah, they made the joke because there's somebody drafted.
Who did Washington draft? Who was their first round
So-
pick?
Jahan Dotson.
So they got Dotson.
That's good.
Then they took Fedarian Mathis.
That's good.
Then they took Brian Robinson Jr., the running back from Alabama.
That's going to be a steal.
Percy Butler, a safety out of Louisiana. Sam Howell. Cole Turner, a tight end out of Nevada. Chris Paul, a guard out of Tulsa.
Hey,
and
the
Christian
tight end out of-
Holmes,
hey,
the
the-
Oklahoma
like,
State
again,
corner.
Chris Paul guard. No, it's
Hold
not
on.
even.
Hold on. Hey, the tight end out of Nevada can go.
Yeah, he can go, but I was sitting there.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah. They're like, oh, there's a guard by the name
And
of Chris
with
Paul.
the 9th pick in the 7th round, the Washington Commanders select Chris Paul, guard, Oklahoma City. Oh, now he's Tulsa.
I didn't even know. I liked the people. I just don't understand what the method was, because for everything that they did, they could have done better by simply picking that player when
They should have, yeah. And I'm surprised they didn't get a corner.
like you could have got better.
Like they don't
They got-
have a shutdown corner.
They got a corner. They got Christian Holmes out of Oklahoma State.
So I mean, I'm surprised, but
Jimmy
I'm talking
Moreland
about
out of James Madison. Yeah, we were just like
What are
it's
you talking about?
so they need a corner, but I know they play a lot of zone. But
They
still,
need everything, Jay. This
The
is why I
New-
don't understand. Just they could have gone up and down and just taken the best available.
well, you got to
player.
think they're thinking
At
Carson
any
Wentz
point.
is part of their draft class.
Yes.
Okay, so they figure they
Which
got
doesn't make me feel better.
no, but that's what they're thinking. Then you got to think, okay, Ron Rivera historically likes to draft defensive linemen, and that's what he's done over his career.
But
Payne
that was
is
not
leaving.
the guy you were going to pick. He
Oh, I
was
know.
he was the 6th best, 7th best. At that time, he was the 6th or 7th best defensive tackle. Like when they took him,
Man, you can't be looking at me so bad. I can't. I'm gonna start. I
Damn.
can't stop laughing at you.
Damn.
it hurts. It hurts. It hurts to go, okay. Like if they had said, okay, you know what, we need a running back. We need a running back. You could have got the running back. You could have got Kenneth Walker at any point in this thing. You could have gotten
You don't like
Olave,
Brian
you could've-
Robinson?
But they feel like Gibson is their running back.
Come on, that's a
Yeah,
Alabama
but
running back.
Did you to the Alabama running back?
You know how great they
But
are.
he wasn't the best Alabama running back. He was 1B of the Alabama running backs. So
He had 14 rushing touchdowns and 84 broken or evaded tackles.
he's a downhill runner. He'll be their down 1 and 2 guy, and they'll use Gibson, but
yeah.
then you're turning Gibson into a single faceted running back, which is not what you want to do.
I think they're going to use him I think they're going to do it the flip. I think Gibson's going to still do his thing, but don't sleep that. Don't think Robinson can't handle the
Well,
business
but
out
you
of the
also
backfield.
then
Though.
went out and you kept J.D. McKissick, who has the most production by position of anybody in the league. You're talking about just being effective at the highest level for what J.D. McKissick does, which is come in and catch a 7-yard pass, move the chains, go back to the sideline.
Right.
Right. So,
They're trying to be more dynamic and versatile on offense.
well, I mean, are you going to go with 2-back sets
Three.
now? Are you
No, they're
going
going
to
to play 3. They're going to play 3 running backs.
3 running backs. He just
They're going to look. They're what they're doing is they got their bell cow and Gibson.
They don't want him to be bell cow. They want.
Well,
they
I
want
mean,
the
their
kid
guy
they just
that's
drafted to be bell cow.
he's the guy that's going to go out there when the starting lineups is starting.
Oh.
He's going to handle his business. Robinson can handle it. It can help them on 3rd down, especially blitz pickup and in the screen game.
Mm.
He's your thumper, and then you got your do-it-all guy. No, I like him. I look. I got a ton of respect for him, man. Look, you wait 5 years.
Well, he's a
and,
dude.
and
He's
and
a
then
dude.
when you do it, you more than cash in on it. Is he next level? Is he going to be cocking his head back, going all the way? No, but he's going to be a pretty productive pro. And plus, he gives you a ton of help on special teams. Now, how Washington
we drafted
got
several
there.
people that they projected as special teams people. Like, no,
You had
stop
special
it.
teams problems, right? That was your main.
Listen, man. That was that was not
you
the main
you
problem.
draft for special teams.
That was
But you
not-
got to
yeah,
give him credit that Sam Howell was probably a 3rd round draft choice. They got him in 5th, so that's
I'm thrilled with that.
so
I'm
you gotta
thrilled
think
with that.
So the only mistake is that drafting the D tackle at 2nd round.
Well,
when he thought he was
I
going
got
4th.
issue with 1, 2, and 3, but they're Alabama, so okay.
Okay,
How
Dotson's
much-
gonna
Philadelphia
handle
had a
his
pretty
business.
good draft.
Well, but Dotson is he's not. He's just not who was available.
He'll turn out to be a really good pro.
And we passed on the best linebacker in the draft 9 times.
Everybody did.
Yeah, but
But you don't need linebacker though.
yeah,
You got a pretty good linebacking crew right now.
Took to the 3rd round
I will take him
for him to
I
get
will
picked.
Take him. I will take him. I will take him. All right, let's throw it to break and come back and do a short segment. NBA. Let's get it.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
2-1 count, and that's a deep drive into the gap. Smith rounding first base. It's a stand-up double.
Hey, Nick, speaking of doubles, did you know Wings and Rings has 2 ways to enjoy their next level food?
Rico, we're in the middle of a game.
The game can wait, Nick. One way is to stop by one of their Lincoln locations. They have 2 great locations at O Street, Meridian Park, and 40th and Old Cheney in Williamsburg Village.
You said 2 ways. What's the other way?
You can order online at wingsandrings.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and it's been a great start here to the year as 2022 new inventory continues to roll in. Our pre-owned lot remains full, and we are selling at a record pace. I was just down at Koppel talking about a new order for myself, and they let me know I can actually start ordering a 2023 here later this spring. So stop on in to get your new 2022, your pre-owned vehicle, or maybe talk about ordering here for 2023. Check them out online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did.
Shopping for insurance can be a tedious and frustrating task, but the agents at Brokers Insurance Agency will do the work for you. They have partnered with over 20 of the best insurance carriers in the nation, which allows them to do the shopping all for you. Whether you're looking for business insurance or employee benefits for your company, or you're looking to save money on your home and auto insurance, Brokers Insurance Agency has the agents and solutions to help meet your goals. Call 402-420-5353 or email staff at brokersinsurancene.com.
Springtime is here, and it's time to get to work on outdoor projects. Deck City is a great place to start as Lincoln's local source for everything decks. Deck City has everything you need to build the deck of your dreams, from treated lumber to Westbury aluminum railings and TimberTech composite decking. Call them today to schedule an appointment at 402-480-6671. Go online at deckcityne.com or visit their new location just north of 33rd and Cornhusker Highway.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
From selling a home to even building one, you're doing a lot and need a lender who can help you do it. Like Kelsey Fluhop of Security First Bank.
As a mortgage loan officer, I value my customers and work to make the mortgage process easy and even rewarding.
Mortgage lending from Security First Bank. We're the bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 505011 and 1730635.
Herrick Services takes this time to show their gratitude to the men and women of our military. Whether it's here in the United States or another country, they've put their lives on the line each and every day for our safety and our freedom. This important message comes to you from Bart, Mike, and the folks at Herrick Services, your vending and snow removal specialists here in Lincoln. Their quality service and expertise has earned them a fine reputation. Visit them online at herrickservices.net. That's Herrick Services, on the air saluting our troops this Memorial Day and every day.
Another packed spring sports season means it's time to get to N Street Drive-In to fill up on all your beverage needs. Stop by for great deals as April's beers of the month are Deschutes Fresh Squeeze IPA, Wild Onion Ubi Goober Hazy Peach IPA, and Belching Beaver Brewing. Also, make sure to download the new N Street Drive-In app to order online and to set up delivery right to your front door. And don't forget their top-notch growler fill system. N Street Drive-In, your one-stop beverage stop at 1801 O Street.
Back to Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Pumps in a back, pumps in a back. We like the girls with the pumps in a back. Pumps in a back, pumps in a back. We like the girls with the pumps in a back.
Second round NBA action started last night. We got some good games up ahead.
Day one of the conference semifinals was perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Because the Celtics lost?
Perfect. Not because the Celtics lost, but because we got to see and then two teams adjust on the fly and say, we got an answer for you. We got an answer for you. Like, wait a minute. You mean the physical, hey, we can throw, big Jersey Slim, big Brooklyn Slim all around, and that makes us, we're the ones.
We're tough.
We're tough guys.
Right.
But everybody, it was somebody saying everybody got put until you get punched in the jaw.
Oh, yeah.
Well, they got punched in the jaw yesterday.
This one's different.
Right?
Yeah,
You got
Giannis
punched
is
in the
that
jaw.
dude.
This one is different.
Right?
Giannis, and then you got Lopez, and then you got Wesley Matthews, and you got Holiday.
Drew Holiday.
They're the defending champs. They ain't
Listen,
scared of nothing.
You went from a 7-footer who didn't want to be physical to
To
a
a 7-footer
who
that's
will
the only way I
punch
know
you
how
in-
to play.
Who will
A bunch
punch
of
you in the mouth.
7-footers.
Right.
Bunch of 7-footers.
And then you got Bobby Porter's come out there.
Old
Bob-
crazy eyes.
Uncle Bobby Porter.
Hey, remember he hit the dude from Chicago?
He broke his jaw.
Broke his jaw. It was like, oh, we
Ruined
got
his career.
Yeah, we got messed his whole. He was up for a max deal. He's like, I can't. He's like, I've been on a liquid diet.
All I could think of
For a year.
watching Milwaukee was when Boston would make a run and go, Milwaukee goes, all I could think of was Della Reese from Harlem Nights. Oh, you gonna shoot me in my pinky toe. Now I'm gonna have to cut you.
You know the thing that's different between Milwaukee and the Nets. Milwaukee can play some defense too.
Yeah, they were like, you guys think, that's cute. That was defense. No, defense. And I say it all I don't understand how you can get to that level and not understand that in order to do this at the NBA level defensively, it's middle first.
Yeah.
It's middle 1st.
Mm-hmm.
It's paint first. Like front of the rim, paint, sides of the rim, extend it out.
Yeah.
And Milwaukee is like, listen, we understand that, look, you might have a night or two out of 7 where you hit threes, but it ain't going to be every night.
Right.
And the look on Boston's face, the Celtics' faces, oh, my goodness gracious.
Yeah, they weren't. Well, first of all, when you're dealing with Giannis on the offense and defensive end, he's a different looking dude come playoff time. And then what they just saw and say Durant. I mean, homeboy is yoked up. He's one of the fastest from baseline to baseline in the league. He's probably the fastest and can gain the most ground with the most force going to the rim. So you might have thought you were getting back against like Kyrie and Durant. It's a sprint. So they wear you out there. And then defensively, Giannis ain't backing down from anybody. So he can swallow you up by his size because he's 6'11". He can engulf you with his length with an 8-foot wingspan. So then you got to think with Jaylen Brown and Tatum, they aren't used to seeing that. And then you got Wesley Matthews that can, eliminate.
Still getting it done.
Right. He's a spot up shooter. Then you got Holiday. That's one of the better defensive guards in the
that was his 6'5",
in the NBA. And then you got Lopez. So when you think about this, is the same thing. Just like it's comparable to football, right? You start up the middle. Lopez is like your nose guard. Okay. Giannis is your middle linebacker, right? Mm-hmm. Holiday is your safety, right up the middle. So right down there, and then they all got length.
And Middleton didn't even play.
Middleton didn't even play.
Yeah, he's doing all this without his Batman. Or
Yeah.
without his Robin. Not his
Yeah.
Batman. He's
So
Batman.
it
It's
was
bad when Grayson Allen started doing something.
Grayson Allen low-key turned into a really, really good shooter this year.
Well, he was a great shooter. He
He
put
didn't
the
shoot
other
a
stuff
lot
down.
in he didn't shoot a lot in college. He was mostly driving to the rim, but
put
he
the other stuff down.
yeah.
Like he put the other stuff down. And then listen, we can rant a little bit about Golden State. So
That game.
Let's go to the break here. We'll close out a little bit of a rant about this Golden State and about officiating. We got to do better.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Shopping for insurance can be a tedious and frustrating task, but the agents at Brokers Insurance Agency will do the work for you. They have partnered with over 20 of the best insurance carriers in the nation, which allows them to do the shopping all for you. Whether you're looking for business insurance or employee benefits for your company, or you're looking to save money on your home and auto insurance, Brokers Insurance Agency has the agents and solutions to help meet your goals. Call 402-420-5353 or email staff at brokersinsurancene.com.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
Tune in every Monday morning throughout the summer at 6:45 a.m. for golf course reviews on the Nebraska Golf Passport Early Break Golf Tour with Jake Sorensen and Steve Sipple on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
You know you want that smoky, tangy, sweet, and spicy sauced and tossed Wingstop. But you just brought a haul of groceries home from the store. It's cool. No one expects you to shop and cook in the same day. So let the flavor experts at Wingstop hook you up with mouth-watering wings, crispy tenders and thighs, fries and sides delivered to your door. You can always cook tomorrow. That's why the fridge was invented. Get it delivered at wingstop.com.
Order online now from the new Wingstop located at 5001 O Street.
Southeast Community College has learning centers in Falls City, Hebron, Nebraska City, Plattsmouth, Wahoo, and York so that you can take credit and non-credit classes at a center nearby without having to travel an hour or more to campus. By taking online classes and those at a learning center, you can earn your degree from SEC where and when it's convenient for you, all at a cost that won't stand in the way of your education. Learn more about SCC's learning centers at southeast.edu/learning centers. SCC, your path to possible.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by Security First Bank. A relationship you can count on.
Cloudy skies with rain moving in by late this morning into this afternoon. We'll see a high of 48 with falling temperatures this afternoon and northeast winds at 15 to 20. Rain slowly moves out tonight with a low down to around 40. We should see clearing skies by tomorrow afternoon with a high of around 58. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is your High School Minute.
With your Southeast Community College High School Minute, I'm Gus Cottle. Aiden Nachi scored a game-winning goal to lift Lincoln East boys soccer over Norfolk in the district semifinals. In the rest of the boys soccer district matchups, North Platte defeated Bellevue East 1-0. Grand Island defeated Omaha North 5-0. Elkhorn South defeated Lincoln Pius X 3-1 in overtime. Fremont defeated Omaha North 3-0, and Omaha South defeated Millard West 3-0. Gretna Baseball won the Bellevue West tournament by defeating Lincoln Southeast 9-5. Lincoln East Baseball defeated Millard West by way of the run rule to win the Dawncraft Invitational. Kearney Baseball defeated Lincoln Southwest 19-3, carried by 10 runs in the first inning. This has been your Southeast Community College High School Minute. Learn more today at southeast.edu.
Back to Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Wait, you have to explain that.
What?
What's the all-boys school?
Creighton Prep is an all-boys school.
1,200. I just found that out whenever a state basketball tournament was.
And Omaha Marion is an all-girls school. So when they do like homecoming, prom, like those two schools, they like share a homecoming and a prom. I mean, they don't just go with each other because you'll have dating people from other schools or whatever. But yeah,
we had that. So in Arlington, my hometown, we had Bishop O'Connell High School, which for a long time was boys, and then they brought in girls and just
lost their minds.
Oh yeah, they went crazy.
Yeah.
They had St. Agnes that they would partner with for events like dances and that sort of stuff, and we'd hear the stories, and you get invited out. And you show it. It was like 1960s, like it was West Side Story.
Yeah.
The room was split in half, and there were rivals, and
perfect.
It was. Oh, you guys you're the public school guys. Oh, you're the private school guys. We don't like you. Okay, let's dance.
And then the music started playing. And DP got on the floor.
And it was over. It was over.
And then everybody became good friends.
Yeah, all of that.
Playoff basketball.
The call yesterday, for me, I actually stood up at home and just kind of stood there and processed at how bad this was.
Yeah, it wasn't a good look. It wasn't a good look for the NBA.
Right.
It wasn't a good look for the game. I started thinking like, man, are they trying to create drama so Memphis can kind of with Ja Morant win the first game? But that championship mindset that Steve Kerr and I would say Mark Jackson before him and Golden State, what they've done and how they've built their roster, they fed off of that. They fed off of that.
Klay Thompson, baby.
Klay Thompson, Poole, Gary Payton Jr., Steph Curry, Otto Porter, like Chiminga, whoever, that guy.
Steph defending.
Yeah, Mooney.
Steph defending.
Mooney. I mean, they all just locked in and did what they had to do.
Jordan Poole is going to be a very rich man one day. Whenever that contract comes up.
Yeah.
What do they do, though? Because you got a big that you're still going to have to pay.
Wiseman ain't even playing.
Yeah.
Right.
Your number 1 overall draft pick.
And then I didn't even mention Wiggins.
Right.
He's found a way. So, look, Golden State, they're tough for a small team that generally, I mean, they only have one guy over 6'9" on the roster. That's Mooney. He barely plays. The amount of the way that they're able to rebound and play defense is next level. I mean, it is. I mean, the way they build their roster, you got Iguodala, and once they bring him, you're switching everything. They're long, fast, quick, and they're very, very skilled in what they do.
How is he not losing a step?
Yeah, it's weird.
He's figured it out.
How is he like?
Well, he got that half a year off when he didn't go to Memphis. Remember that?
True, yeah.
But the thing, what he does is,
yeah, he just didn't go.
Yeah,
like
Nope.
I'm not doing that.
He's smart. And what they do is they can have guys play later in their career because if you look at their offensive setup, obviously everything's run through Curry. Well, Draymond's the table setter. Curry, obviously now Poole, and then Klay Thompson. Right, those are like their bell cows. But all the other guys, in the way that they do stuff, they share the basketball so much that everybody's getting a touch and getting shots and getting easy buckets.
Mm-hmm.
So then that leads to, okay, yeah, I'm going to D up. I mean, they're the best play that they had. They came down on the left side. I think it was Poole, passed it to the corner to Steph Curry. The guy tried to run and close him out, went back to the pass went back to Poole. Poole like ball fake, passed it back to Curry, dagger. Right. Oh, not only a dagger, 4-point play. Most guys are going to shoot it the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the final sequence,
yeah,
where Steph is out front.
Steph's out front.
And he gets to the bucket, and he could have just done a Steph thing, which
Yep.
was lay it high off the glass and it'll go down. Steph got into the paint, got to the decision line, kicked it out to the corner. They ran it out again, and Steph looked over and went, "Yeah,
Yeah, we've done that a million times.
Yeah.
You guys fell for the okie doke.
yeah."
Then Klay Thompson did the old school ball fake. I call it the reverse Mr. Miyagi swipe.
Mhm.
And it literally just got it in his shooting pocket and was like, I've made this 20 million times. game over.
The game is so much easier when you can shoot
And
when
pass.
when you have everybody can
when
shoot.
you can pass
When
the
you
ball.
know the rest of your teammates are more than willing passers.
When you can pass the ball effectively and efficiently, it makes everybody good shooters. Because even in the NBA, you see guys like if you look at like the way Klay Thompson shoots, he's a catch and shoot guy, right? I mean, he's quick, boom. He doesn't need a lot on the ground, or he doesn't pound it on the ground.
Right.
So when you look at him, they know if I'm passing to Klay, all I need to do is pass it right here and it's out of here. Where you can pass to Steph, he can just dice you up and then hit you with all the fancy stuff. And Jordan Poole can do a little bit of both. That's coaching, development, but it's the passing though, because it creates so much space and wears a team out because it's almost like they're chasing like a neuron or something. They ain't getting it.
And they'll beat you to the middle. Like all these shooters who spread out, who spread you out, can in fact one time it on the floor, get into the paint and finish.
And then you got some guys that
Boston's going to have to watch Golden State game tape.
they should and implement it some.
Well, we will see.
Yeah, but they don't have a Steph Curry.
Rico, we're gonna send
Thompson.
Jay out, but we're gonna ask you to break down tonight's other two
let's go.
semifinals.
You owe me breakfast. That single game.
The single game.
I got it right.
But you said the other team would win though.
No, I didn't. I said Memphis would win.
You said Memphis.
I said
would win.
Memphis would win and Anthony Edwards would
Then
lead the
I'll buy
way.
you breakfast tomorrow.
I got it right. I got one.
You hyped. Hey, how did it take you this long to say
I
it?
forgot because he told me that. He just told me that I was going to tweet at him, but it was late, so I didn't want to do that. I didn't know what he was doing. I remembered.
We'll do that. We'll do
I
that.
got breakfast. I
And
got
then
breakfast
we'll set him
tomorrow.
up, and then we'll set him up for tomorrow.
Look at that chest puffed out.
Ah!
Hell yeah.
Puff the magic dragon.
I get breakfast tomorrow.
One-on-one, we'll talk a little Husker softball, top of the hour.